This is gonna be a difficult thing. Not for the reasons you would expect, but I was sent a thing, a complete thing, a rather exciting thing. However, I was sent the set from 2 different companies. One of them, NFSTRIKE, sent me the wheels and the cage, but Worker Kit sent me the motors. And together they make one whole unit. So here's how I'm gonna do this. This is available at both websites. However, depending on which one's cheaper, you may want to check, and depending on which one has more stuff that you want to buy, again, if you want to buy anything worker related, workerkit.com, but if you want to buy anything plus worker, there's NFSTRIKE, but their prices and their inventory do differ between each other, so keep that in mind. That being said, I've got things here. I've got really, really nice things. I'm happy to get my hands on these because I honestly didn't know entirely what to expect when I saw these, but we've got cheesy Pete's. We've got, oh, they're already chipped because of that. Darn it, that's what you get. We've got the new worker motors, which they come with actual wire, which is kind of a new oddity for them. And it tells you right here exactly they're like centered ND FEB double machine bearings. Fully automatic kit, centered bearings. Please follow instructions to field effect lube motor speed governor. Do not use lithium iron phosphate battery, but can use polymer lithium batteries at just 11.1 voltage. So these are a 3S LiPo setup. But we've also got, I believe these are the wheels. These are new wheels from them. These are the aluminum kind of metal wheels as you would see, but they have a different, I believe, size and design on the side of them. Not sure how much that actually matters. You would think Worker by now, after making the original Worker wheels, which were really, really impressive, would do better with, like, yeah, with the wheel things. But as far as I know, the last ones of these I got, they were okay. Many other people have had problems with them, but we've got something. I know this is another worker cage, and you're kind of like, oh, it's another worker cage. Why should I care? Well, there's a lot of metal cages out there. Worker has done them for a while. They weren't the first, but they have done them for a while, because they kind of figured out, hey, metal cages are somewhat important. People like that. This is a metal cage that is a higher crush. Nothing against like the Typhoon or the DRS cage or anything like that, but they're kind of standard crushes. If you want higher performance, you need higher crush. This setup should be really freaking crushy. Like, that's not super crazy, but that's pretty crazy. I think that's actually equivalent to, let's see here, not sure how well, it actually almost seems like it's, you can't see that at all. It actually seems like a higher crush than even the Ultima Stryfe here. In a metal cage, so this should have, you know, this should absorb any vibrations or anything in it, so yeah, there's a lot to love there, and it does come with plenty of motor mounting screws, and honestly, these should work really good. I am a little worried about these. I mean, to be honest, they're a little bit heavier, but they're not very much heavier. These are just Bulldogs I have right here. They're a little bit heavier, but not enough. And these motors are just insanity. These are 132s though. So they are slightly bigger than your average motor. And there are like motor gapping things on them. Not quite sure what that's for, but the magnets! If Hawkeye has taught me anything, it's that the magnets are important. And I have like, I think, no, I don't have any more Krakens here. Like, Krakens were really strong. These are also really strong, but the main problem with these is, these are also really expensive. This is like a $20 set of motors right here. That is not cheap. So this setup, like honestly the cage and the wheels and stuff, that's not that expensive when it comes to metal cages and stuff. But with these motors, this setup better be friggin' amazing. I'm expecting 150 plus, if not 160. So hopefully we reach those numbers. I'm not only going to be using this whole setup right here, but I'm also going to be using one of my brand new Kelly Industries soldered things so I can make all of my flywheel cages modular so I can pull them out, put them in all the time, and that will be really useful. And I'm also going to use my brand new soldering iron. I just picked this up off Amazon. There will be a link down in the description below. This is an affiliate link, but you might want to check it out if you're looking for a really nice soldering iron, because this thing is friggin' cool. Really quick rundown on this thing. It heats up in like I don't know, 7 seconds. You can control the temperatures all you want. It's got timers. If you set it down for too long, it will automatically shut off. You can control the individual. It does everything, and more stuff that I will probably ever need a soldering iron to do. Plus, it's small and cute. But yeah, this thing is freaking. I have not soldered anything. I've put a melted solder on the end of it, but I have not soldered anything. I'm hoping it's really good. So yeah, let's get down into this. It's complete. This is a really good looking flywheel cage. Seriously, this is a work of art. I'm really impressed with how these wheels and this cage and all this like graphite black gunmetal gray kind of thing. Oh, it's so good. And with the Kelly Industries new motor boards, this is for every single flywheel cage ever made from now on should have this. Not only is it impossible to short out your motors because the piece of plastic underneath the board, it's dead simple to solder, and it takes up way less room, and it's modular with this little XT60 connector right there. Oh my gosh, there will be a link to that down in the description below if I can find one, but these are from Kelly Industries. Anyway, the point is, this cage looks phenomenal. The motors they have that same kind of, not clicky, but the bearings and the magnets are strong enough that the wheels kind of index into certain positions. Kind of like on Fang revamps and XP180s and stuff like that, so really interesting. It does look like worker kind of barrel, yeah. So if you want to put the barrel system on it to possibly increase your accuracy and possibly decrease your actual velocity, that's the thing. The crush is, again, very, very high. So, only thing left now is to put it in a blaster. I'm going to put it in the testbed Stryfe, since that's what we have right here. I do need to put the rev trigger back in it, but we're gonna see what this does. Actually, this blaster already has an XT60 connector, but I don't think it's far enough to reach into the flywheel cage. Oh, it's a friggin' Dean's connector. Of course it's a Dean's connector. Well, at least now I get to demonstrate the awesome power of my new soldering iron. Press button. And ready to solder. Oh, I love everything about this soldering iron. Heats up quick, works perfectly. Wow, I'm actually amazed that fit. I honestly wasn't going to think the 132s with the motor board and everything was going to fit in there, but it looks like it worked just fine. Well, only one way to find out. Freshly charged 3S LiPo. One wheel is not spinning. Yes, we've got some rubbing. I'm not quite certain how Worker has made so many flywheel cages, and yet this is still an issue. I was really, really pleased with this up until that started rubbing. There we go. All right. Now put a couple of screws in and test it. All right, first 4 shots are stock brand new Elite darts, followed by 3 of the Adventure Force waffle tips, followed by 3 AccuFakes. So, let's see what this thing can do. 139. 148. 149. 158. 130, 133, 137, 141, 140, and a 149. Very, very interesting. Well, this is interesting. The numbers were okay. I'm not going to say they were great. There were certainly some high numbers in there. Whether those were just complete flukes or not, I can't tell. But to kind of make sure everything was working pretty good, I did take it out there and do a little bit of accuracy / range testing, and my finds were, well, I only had one dart that didn't go perfectly straight using AccuFakes in this thing, so I'm a little torn. It definitely does hit hard, but does it hit about $60-something for the entire setup hard? I mean, the cage itself is $25. I think that's a pretty good deal, especially for a metal cage, with high crush. The wheels look cool, but historically worker wheels have not been that great, and I can't tell if that's the problem with this kit or not. And then, of course, we've got the motors, which again, historically, worker motors have not been as good as things like Krakens and whatnot. I'm willing to bet putting Krakens in this thing would probably make it perform a lot better, but there may be a secret dart that this thing performs just exceptionally well with, but I'd say an average around 140 between all types of darts. I don't really know, that seems a little low for how much I'm paying here. It definitely would get you insane accuracy. Like with AccuFakes, I got one dart that didn't go perfectly straight, and that was just slightly off to the left. So this thing with AccuFakes in it, you can hit up, 145 or so. That's not bad. That's honestly not that bad, but to be perfectly honest, I don't think I would trust the motors. I would probably not pick up the motors. I think the cage is great. The wheels, it looks freaking cool. The motors, I'm a little, I don't really think those are up to stuff, especially for the $18 to $25 that they seem to sell for. I'm not entirely sure right there. I don't know a whole lot about motors. They do feel suspiciously similar to Krakens, I'm not gonna lie, but I think Krakens perform a lot better. I mean, I had other cages that are with less crush than this hitting up to 170. So take that at what you will. The cage, I think, is the best cage they've put out so far. I really like the looks of the cage. I really like the looks of the wheels. The entire package together just looks so freaking cool. And if you want to get that like 150 mark or skirt around as close to it as you possibly can, it's not a bad setup at all. Especially since it's so hard to get a metal flywheel cage that has a good amount of crush in it. Not bad, but there's definitely some room for improvement, and I may toy with this again in the future. It's also really good to be a rapid strike cage, which is not something we get a whole lot of, because if you take things like the Typhoon Heston cage, for instance, the feeding hole in this cage is just ridiculous. Like, you can't use this for a rapid strike. It's never going to work. This one is really good. I don't have any kind of guide or anything in there, and it's just massive. It feeds darts in perfectly. That right there makes this probably one of the better rapid strike cages you could probably get. So I'm definitely going to be using this in the build paradigm shift. But honestly, it's not blowing me away. It's definitely good for, it's the best metal cage I've used thus far, but that's only because it has higher crush than something like this, which I'm personally a big fan of the higher crush systems. The accuracy, at least with AccuFakes, is really good. So it's one of those where it's like, I want to say it's really good, but you guys can make up your own opinion based on the footage. I think it's good, but something in the back of my head is nagging me saying like, it's okay. It's not the best thing ever. I mean, obviously, well, PLA cages and stuff like that tend to melt, so I don't know. I don't know. I think it just looks freaking cool, and I will definitely be using it. I wish I could get one red and one blue worker flywheel. I'm happy with it. I'm definitely happy with it. I think it's a pretty cool cage, and I'm sure most of you will agree with me on that one, but we'll see. If you've lasted this long through this video, I really appreciate it, especially something like a flywheel cage review, which I know isn't the sexiest thing ever, although it is one of the sexiest cages I've ever taken a look at, seriously. But check out the description below. We've got links to the Fuzzy Walrus Industries Discord channel, which is pretty much all Nerf all the time, and maybe some Gunpla, Common Rider, and stuff like that in video games. And then we've also got a link to the Teespring store, which has shirts like the Delete This shirt and the Tag Back shirt and some phone cases and some other things I'm going to be working on in the very near future. And if you noticed, I've got the little join button next to the subscribe button now. So if you want to click on that and join, you get all sorts of little perks for $5 a month. And on top of that, you get a cool little dart metal thing next to your name in the comment section and in live chat, which is freaking awesome in my opinion. I've wanted this for a long time. I made those by hand, and I'm really proud of them. So hopefully you guys like them too. But yeah, anyway, I'm Walcom S7. Thank you very much for watching this video. And of course, I hope to see you in an entirely different one.
You gotta